Alright. Thanks for watching this channel again. Thanks for watching part 2 of this Chris's interview. So today I'm very honored to get Kris to come and do a second part of this video. He wants to share more. He wants to do an extended version of this interview. But I think more importantly, he wants to share some insights, some knowledge on how he picks stocks, how he watched for hedge funds buying, and maybe some of you have questions you can ask. How did he learn from me, or how do you learn from him to go under your wing, right? So let's welcome Kris.
Hello everybody, welcome back. So I hope you have enjoyed the video that Roy interviewed me, and also all his video about supply demand. Go and watch it. I believe you will learn a lot of things there to aid you in your trading. Okay? Yeah.
So Kris, I've been a lot of them. They emailed me, they asked me questions. Kris, wow, I'm so inspired after watching the video. I'm so motivated, and you're so young, Kris. So any advice to these young people, newbie, or any advice to these people who want to get their hands dirty but yet afraid to lose some small money here and there?
I think before you get your hands dirty, make sure you know what you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, I think at the end of the day, high chance, I use the word high chance, you might lose money. But if you know what you're doing, you do the amount of effort that you put in, you find the right mentor to coach you, I think you are on a highway to see some progress rather than doing it yourself. Yeah, so that's one of the advice that I can give you guys.
Alright, Kris, can I ask you a second question?
Sure.
So, have you met any obstacles in trading? And if given a choice, would you want to go through obstacles, or you want to go through lesser obstacles but make it big?
I prefer a smoother route. I mean, who don't prefer a smoother route? Everybody wants to go through a smoother route instead of the hard way, right? And of course, obstacles definitely have. At times whereby I think the market is coming down, I short it down. After that, the market went up higher. I got to cut loss. If not, I think that maybe this stock is strong. I went to buy, but next day get down, I also lose money. But the thing is that you have to be quick and decisive. If it's time to go, you go. Don't fall in love with the stock, because once you keep holding, you think the loss will become profit one day. The more you hope for it, the more you will lose off. That's all I can share.
Alright, so Kris, tell us, how do you scan stocks every day in the US market?
Okay, so US, I believe a lot of you all know US, there's tens of thousands of stocks. So how I scan is very simple. You go to the top 30 stocks. So basically you see what is moving, and then from there you analyze. Because we have to play something that is in play. You don't want to play a stock that is nobody touching on, no institution touching, no fund house touching. Then basically at the end of the day, right, you are wasting time. Or if not, you will take some time for it to start to have some activities. You need to see money fast, or rather, you want to see money within 1 month. No one want to see money within 5 years, 10 years. People want to see money within 1 month. I believe all of you all are the same as me Okay, if you can see money within 1 month, why would you want to see money within 1 year? Yeah, so usually I use the top 30 basically.
Right, so for the top 30 in US, you need to pay for it?
No, actually top 30 in US is free if let's say you use some online platform, but there's some delay. But if let's say you want the broker one, you have to pay for it. There's a fee I think I forgot how much is the fee, but there's a fee to it if you want to use the broker's live price. Yeah, the live price you need to pay for it.
Alright, Kris, so I think a lot of people who's watching this video, they also want to know, how do you look at charts in a holistic view, and how do you see all these insiders or institution buying, and how do you fish out all these very, very good stocks so that you are able to piggyback those institutions?
Okay, so before I say all these things, one thing I have to say that everything that I know, everything that I learn is from God. Okay, whatever I learn is from God. So he taught me how to look at the institutional buying, all the fund houses buying, because at the end of the day, what we are trying to do, right, is we are trying to piggyback them. That means we anticipate their move, we buy together with them, and we sell together with them. So with that, you can look at a few things. There's some you can look at the flushes that they created, look at the steep angle that they created and everything. One of them, I think the most important thing is flushes One of them is flushes and the hidden buying. After they flush you, they will definitely do some hidden buying. After that, they will push the stock price up. So one of the important factors that I usually use is the flushes, because flushes is very powerful. It makes me buy at a cheaper price. Okay, and of course with the flushes they created, right, the rebound will be high also.
So while Kris said flushes, so I thought it'd be wise if I can show you some flushes. So here, watch. Can you see there's a heavy sell down in the Dow Jones, and then there's a big gap down here. There was a flush here, there's a few flushes here, and like what Kris mentioned earlier on, the rebound will be heavy. Can you see the rebound is so heavy after that? So this is how he used the chart to aid him in his profits, right? So Kris, since you're quite good in trading,
well, I'm better.
you said I'm quite good. All right. So Kris, maybe you can share with them how these young traders or these seasoned traders, how can they go under your wing, get your guidance, and how can you drive them to become better in chart reading?
I think I always share with people before you all go under my wing or what, I have to make it clear that my mentor is still wrong. He's the person that you all should learn from because his one is always the first-hand information. That's the first thing. Second thing is that before you all go under my wing or be it my wing or Ron's wing, right, one thing is that we must be able to communicate. Because whatever that I learned from Ron, his strategy is very unique. Yeah, it's very unique. So for example, you tell me like, let's say you use a TA or FA, you tell me, oh, this fundamental company very good and everything, but I don't understand. I only know what is flushes. I only know what is institutional buying. I only know how to read the hidden buying, all the hidden selling, all this kind of thing. So first thing, we must be able to communicate. So our lingo must be the same. If not, it's very hard for us to communicate after you be under my wings and everything lah. Yeah. So,
alright, so any more questions for Kris? You can DM me or you can comment there and I can ask Kris, or maybe you can do Instagram live and you can ask Kris questions and I'll answer for you. Alright? So Kris, you got any questions for me? Let's switch positions, Kris.
so let me get interview. Okay.
Alright, come.
So I think because I always find that a raw strategy is always very unique because it's like what I said, it's not like the traditional method that he always use. So maybe for him to share with you guys, how do you develop this strategy?
Alright, so very simple. How I develop this strategy is actually it came by many years of research. Research is one thing, but I know my temperament. My temperament, I'm a very impatient guy. When I was young, I'm very impatient. I just want to make money, quick money, fast money. So with this kind of temperament, with this kind of personal temperament, I realized if I can develop a strategy to make quick money within seconds, within minutes, within hours, I will be very successful. And to do that, I need to go and know how institutions buy big bulks at the bottom, and I need to know how funds are selling at the top. And I need to know how to watch the supply and demand, but I think the most important thing, like what Kris shared earlier, you need to see the flushes, because flushes, like what I shared in my chart earlier on, flushes allows you to get the biggest return in the shortest amount of time. That is how I developed, but it really took me a plain long journey about close to about 9 to 10 years to come up with this strategy. Because if you look at every landscape, every people who teaches courses, most of the people who trades, what they do is they go swing trade, they go short term, maybe some go for investment. What I'm thinking is not all this. What I'm thinking is like Goldman Sachs, like a robot. They are trying to make that intermittent profits, that switch, that intermittent within few milliseconds, they want to make their profits. So I'm thinking ahead, more like a robot than the short term, the long term, where you can learn from anyone, you know. But to know how Goldman Sachs trade, to know how they do that small little intermittent, like a middleman taking like a market maker watching the books order, you need to be knowing how the market dynamic really works first, right? So that's how I developed this strategy, because of my impatientness.
Amazing, but because of his development, that's why I'm able to gain of it, and all the people who have been going also gain some knowledge out of it. So maybe the second thing is that recently I saw you make some big trades, $4 million down. So maybe for those people, maybe you can share with them, for like me and also them while watching the video, how can we trade big one day? Let's say 100K, $1 million down. How can we do this?
Right, guys, look in my eyes, man. Just freaking look in my eyes. When I tell you something is real, and I tell you something you can achieve, it means you can achieve. So most of you can't achieve that $1 million of trade. Why? Because your head is thinking very small. What do I mean your head thinking small? You're thinking about how much you're going to make today. You're thinking about every month, how much you're going to draw from your day job. I'm thinking about every day, how much can I draw money from the market every day, not every month. That's why when your head is thinking small, you make small money. When you think big, you make big. It's just like a woman, it takes 9 months for them to give a birth. And 9 months for them to give birth is equivalent to tell you that, hey guys, you want to make big money, you got to think big. You got to think long term. You want to make in out every day, fine, perfectly fine. But you need to switch your head like a robot, very fast. You scout like a robot, right? So to trade millions of dollars down, my advice to you is don't do like a robot, in out, because if you do it wrongly, you will die very poor, right? What you want to do to make millions of dollars to trade big is, you want to be a few things. Patient, pray like a tiger. That means you slowly watch the stock, you slowly monitor the behavior of your prey. And then when it's time to strike, you must be confident to hit the buy button, right? For example, like when doing this coronavirus sell down, you know, the market deep dive, every day there's circuit breaker, you see the Dow Jones circuit breaker, 1,000 points, 2,000 points drop. So what you want to do is, you want to know exactly where the bottom, if you cannot pick the bottom, you want to know where is the turning point and hit your buy button there and then swing it for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And that's where you may not make millions, but that's where you build confidence and you might even make tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. And with the money that you made, you might even have the confidence to go bigger and bigger each time. So that's how I traded in the past. I remember in the past I traded most Singapore stocks. And those Singapore stocks yield me 6 digits. And as I get better and better, trading Singapore stocks, I find it Singapore stocks is so slow, so boring. And I take my challenge and my test to the US market, and true enough, $4.3 million you guys saw. I think most people say, Ron, at a young age you already achieved this. I said it's not achievement yet. The real achievement is 20 million, $50 million down to the market, not 4 million, right? So that's how I did it, Chris.
Okay, so maybe one last question, because there's a hot topic currently, Warren Buffett unloading all his airline stocks and everything. So maybe you can share with us what's your take on this hot topic currently.
Alright, so I'll just answer Chris. So Warren Buffett recently unloaded his airline stocks, Delta Airlines, United Airlines, all these US airlines, and you can see all the airline stocks, they just start to crumble. And because of this virus, a lot of airlines, they're losing money. So the last 12 years ago wasn't the airlines. 12 years ago was the banks. A lot of banks, they tumbled. But 12 years later, during this crisis, airlines took a big hit. So the key thing is this. Warren Buffett is a smart guy. Warren Buffett is a great guy. He's the best investor in the whole wide world. But the thing about Warren Buffett is this. I don't like the way how he picks stocks, and I've got no interest in the stocks he invested or he traded. I'm only interested in the stocks I pick. Because why? Because Warren Buffett is thinking more towards the big funds, big investor. All of us who are watching this video, we belong more or less to the retail side, right? We don't have billions of dollars, we don't have hundreds of millions. So we cannot be buying stocks that's so big, hundreds of dollars, $200, $500, and expecting the stock to go $1,000. Right? So he's thinking, Warren Buffett is a very big guy. He thinks really, really big. Me, myself, can't think so big. I got a certain ceiling that I can only hit so much, right? So when I look for stocks, I don't look for what's Warren Buffett buy. I look for stocks that have growth. For example, from $10, I remember this stock, Kris, remember what stock is that? Wayfair. From $20, it went to $80. In how long, Kris? 3 weeks?
I think we're just doing this circuit breaker period.
Dude, within 3 weeks, $20 to $80. Kris, that's 400% return. That's 400% return. But the stock called Wayfair is just $20. Kris, it's not $400. It's not $300. Right? What other stocks that went up so much? Roku. Right? Roku is another stock. $60 now is about $100 plus dollars. Win Resort, $40 when the crash happened. Now it's about $82. Why am I sharing you this? Because we all belong to retail. We want to be able to buy retail stocks that give us good growth, not buying $100, $200, $300 stocks, but give us that little mini growth that Warren Buffett is looking for, right? So let me show you something before I show you more. So I do a Google search here. As you can see, Warren Buffett sells airline stocks. Warren Buffett company, Berkshire Hathaway, sells airline stocks, and they start to lose a lot of news saying that Warren Buffett is selling his airline stocks, which is to tell you that, guys, when Warren Buffett is selling, the stock that he's selling is going to crash big time. And when it's going to crash big time, what you want to avoid is those stocks that the next 10 years, you want to avoid those stocks, right? And Warren Buffett is a big name, powerful name, prominent name. So when he sells something, when he buys something, he can shake the market. That is why if you want to make a lot of money, you must be doing it 1-2 steps ahead before Warren Buffett's buy, or before Warren Buffett sells his stocks. Do you agree, Kris?
Yeah, so that's why sometimes as retailer, we only have such amount of capital, such amount of limitations. So we have to find something that can grow faster. Yeah, to get our returns faster as well.
So Kris, I want to ask you this thing. I bet people who watch this video will be asking you, say, hey Kris, how can I buy 1-2 steps before Warren Buffett or sell before Warren Buffett? Why do we tell these viewers?
So how do I know how to buy 1-2 steps before? Like what I said, it's always the flushes, because they will always create a panic for you, so that you will throw the stocks, after that they will suck up all the shares. So one of them, like I said, is the flushes. Second is the supply and demand. Yeah, supply and demand, which I think you can view back his videos. There is some insights to be learned. Yeah, so these are one-two strategy that I always use almost every day to spot this kind of movement for funds buying or institutional buying. Yeah.
That's so right. So I hope you learned something today in this video. I think it's much better than the first video. And Kris, over the course of this 1 month, you can see so many people called you. Marek, I think so many people called you, right?
Quite a lot.
How many of them? 20?
No, I think more. I think 50 at least.
Wow, 50 people called Kris, and what they call you for, Kris?
Or they call me, they ask me for advice, then some of them say they want to learn from me, then I say don't learn from me, learn from Ron is better, because he's still my mentor at the end of the day. So after I say, you want to learn from Ron, and then we can communicate from there on after that.
Wow, so like I said, there's so many requests during this sell down period, so many requests. We can't take everyone, but the people who traded with us those days, watch all my YouTube videos, you will see people like Mr. Chan, who else, Willie, Dylan, Sean, who else? Salim, all these people who was inside my video, my IGTV, my YouTube video, they traded with me, they make profits. They are the best testament, because why? Life don't lie. Life don't lie. I can say all I want in this video, but people who traded me, 10, 20 people who stand beside me and traded together with me, life don't lie. Please, before we just end this video, just share with them one of the most unforgettable, memorable trades that we took together with me, in the hotel, maybe in the Starbucks, that 4 or 5 people, or maybe 10 people who traded with us.
Actually, I think the most memorable one, those who are watching a video like Mr. Chan, Nikki, you all should remember this trade called Roku.
Oh.
Yeah, so Roku actually, that day was we bought the Roku stock. So within a few minutes, we profited, some of us profited from $500 to a few $1,000, depending on how big they trade. But that was within a few minutes. And after that, Ron called for a sell. He said, okay guys, you all unload here because the institution is unloading already, so you all unload. Then after, we never see daylight anymore. The stock just came tumbling down all the way, and then that's it for Roku after that. Yeah, so we profited within 3-4 minutes about that, 3-4 minutes. Yeah, and of course another one was actually Ron's trade himself. So he took one stock within about, I think, less than 5 minutes or less than 10 minutes, like less than 5 or less than 10 minutes, right? He made about 14k USD. Yeah, that was one of another good trade that we traded together. We are sitting there live watching him taking his trade. Yeah, so it's a very opportunity to actually see him take a trade live lah. Because actually the stress is also very high. But he has trained himself such that even he take a trade in front of people, no problem.
Yes, I remember Nikki, Mr. Chan, who else? Ryan, Marcus, who watched that 14,000 USD trade within 2-3 minutes. Kris, that night, I mean 14k, that night, that 2 minutes you made 1k plus.
1k plus.
Yeah, that record is still my blog. Go and check it out, alright? So before I end this whole video and make sure I add value to all of you, I just want to show you what Kris shared with you guys. Can you see, this is Boeing. This is an airline stock. This is Boeing. And the stock has been coming down non-stop. And true enough, can you see there's no strength? There's no strength in this. The total no strength in this stock. Can you see there's no strength here? And soon you will see Delta Airlines, United Airlines, and all these stocks started to tumble because of the lack of support, lack of strong buying, lack of conviction, lack of the factor that the stock is going to run. And true enough, after that, Warren Buffett has to dump all these airline stocks, and can you see, I think this stock might even trend lower. All right. So if you want to know how to see flashes, you want to know how to see Warren Buffett buy before the stock fly, you want to know how to see a strong buyer that comes in, or institution players that is coming in, let Kris know, or you can let me know. You can DM me, you can email me, all right? And I will convey the message to Kris, and then he will give you a call, and you just talk to him, and he will show you how to do it. Right, guys? So that's all for me in this video. I really hope you enjoyed the time that I took my time to interview Kris. As you can see, this whole interview was just taken one shot, no editing done. And like I said, Kris is a very confident guy, so when you talk to him, you better show that you're going to ask the right question. Alright guys, that's all for me. Take care. Bye.